you there.
Yo, what up? It's Say My Name.
Yo, what's up? It's Cream.
What's up, guys? This is Riot.
This is Blunts and Blondes.
My name's Allison Wonderland.
Sullivan King here.
Yo, this is Hesh.
This has been TRILLVO.
And you're watching TRILLVO.com.
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 You're locked into TRILLVO.com.
And you're watching TRILLVO.com.
Disillusionize me, Captain.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl here, Victoria, here with another artist spotlight. Today we have Sora, aka Isaiah. Say what's up to the people.
What is up?
Sora here is an up-and-coming bass producer. He has released with Bygor and his latest Thunder, which is Fire's track that you need to listen to right now. He just recently became part of Fine Line Artist Agency with other up-and-coming producers as Ghost Are Real and 666 Boom Sayer. I totally believe that having the right people behind you and like a great support system is key in a great artist. So I'm really happy for you. So congratulations on that, man. You freeze. Oh, yes. So let's talk a little bit about you and your story. I know Sora is from Kingdom Hearts. He's like the main character. So why him? Why did you pick that?
So it's actually pretty convoluted, but Sora does not come from Kingdom Hearts, believe it or not. And a lot of people think that it does, and they think that I'm just like the biggest Kingdom Hearts stan. I barely played the games at all, ever. So I actually got Sora because there's a character in Naruto who kind of like loses his himself to like a curse mark. Mm-hmm. And I just remember that arc being really powerful in the show, and for some reason his character really connected to me, and I ran with it. So, and now anytime anybody ever asks me, is like, what was your name from Kingdom Hearts? I just go, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Oh fuck! and then here I am. No, I feel that a lot of anime characters and a lot of anime arcs are very like real, and they get really into like things that like you need to know, like spirituality and all this other stuff. So I totally like where you're coming from with that. How did you get into producing and DJing?
So I feel like my story in terms of like getting into electronic music in general is pretty normal. I just came across it one day and it was like the coolest shit to me, because before then I was listening to like mainly hip hop and pop and stuff. And then, you know, somebody had Skrillex on their MySpace page and I was like, holy shit, this is so sick. And that's pretty much why I got into producing back. I mean, this is like back in high school, but I heard a Skrillex song and I was like, I did some research and found out he does it all himself. And I was like, I've always wanted to be a musician, but I could never play any instrument or sing that would put me into a band. So I never thought about going into a band or whatever, but I knew I wanted to do some of the music. So when I found out you could make a bunch of beeps and make a song out of it on the computer by yourself, I was like, fuck yeah. And I just kind of threw myself into it, like really young. And then I played my first show when I was in like 10th grade.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I just kind of been doing it ever since. I just, for some reason, producing and DJing just really stuck out to me, and it feels right. Like, you know, when something just kind of clicks and it just feels like you should be doing it. Just, you know, it always felt like that. So
that's what's up. That's good that you found like groove that you like and that you enjoy and that you can keep excelling in. What was your first show?
Oh, my first show was at this really shitty bar in Syracuse, New York.
Oh shit.
I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was just some shitty bar, and I don't know if y'all remember Director. he was really popping in New York. He went and released on Firepower way back in the day, and he was really popping off for quite a while. He was hosting a headlining show, and I think it was like his first headlining show, and I was friends with his friends, so he invited me out to play, and I was small, so don't judge me, but I got roped in to the whole, if you sell X amount of tickets or if you buy out of a pot, you can play. And so I did.
Mm-hmm.
Like my entire high school savings on it.
Oh, shit.
But it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time, and I met some great people, and it made me realize there ain't shit to do in New York.
Yeah.
Upstate. Like if you're above Syracuse, you're not doing anything. So yeah, I played like 1 or 2 more shows while I lived there, and then I was like, no, fuck this, I'm doing the music thing, and I moved away. So yeah.
Heck yeah. I feel that sometimes you just have to take those steps no matter, or you just have to take those leaps no matter what consequences is, or like whatever.
I feel like everybody when they're first starting out, it's like, fuck yeah, I'll buy tickets, I don't care.
Yeah, right. They're like, I don't care, I want to get up on that stage, kind of thing.
Before you know better, the rush of having your first show definitely overtakes you, thinking critically about what you're doing to get that slot. But
yeah, and then you look back on it and you're just like, it was just literally some bar.
Yeah, it literally wasn't worth it. There's probably like, I don't know, like 30 people there max, and like even if I had sold any of the tickets, I wouldn't have made any money whatsoever. But like at the time, I was just like, I don't care. I want to play in front of a crowd, and I don't care if there's people there. So
that's that drive, and I think you still have that drive. You're just like, I still want to put out music. I still want to do it. So
for sure.
That's great. We're living in like some wild times right now with the quarantine and just everything that's going on. I believe it's bringing out the people who are in it to win it, or the people who are just going to be left in the dust. How have you been adapting to this time, and what have been some things you've improved on?
That's kind of difficult to answer because I feel like personally, quarantine's been hitting hard, and definitely took away, at least in the beginning, took away a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily say passion, but a lot of, I just felt like there was like a real drive. There was like fire under my ass to make music and get shows and stuff. Like it was like really important, and there was always some sort of inspiration there. But it feels like ever since we've been locked up that I've been struggling really hard. Writer's block has been a huge bitch to me. But the one thing that I would say I've learned, or kind of the times I've put in my head, is just that like there's still a reason to do it. And even if I'm moving at sort of a slow pace, like there's still, quarantine helped me kind of figure out that no matter what I'm doing in terms of making music, as long as I'm making music and having a good time, like who gives a fuck? Like what's going on around me? Like I can channel whatever I'm channeling into my music, or it gave me a lot of room to be like, well, I'm not playing shows, so I'm not writing for shows. Like before, I felt like I was writing music to play it live, and now that that's not really an option, I'm just kind of writing music, which has kind of put a different creative energy in me. And I've been trying to take that, and like, if you're asking how I've evolved, I just feel like I'm doing different things in general. Like I'm not making this straight rhythm anymore. I'm bringing other elements into it, and just kind of finding a new sound just because I have nothing better to do, you know? It's like, why not try some new shit? Why not try bringing inspiration from different places and stuff, and just kind of like vibing out, making house music, making hip hop, you know, whatever the fuck I'm doing it.
I agree. And that makes you a well-rounded artist in my eyes, because you're going to adapt to different things, and you're going to bring those elements into like the music that you write in. So I totally agree with the way that you're, I mean, adapting it in a sense. So I'm happy for you, man. So you were talking about some like inspirations that you can draw from. What are some inspirations that you have like with your sound design or with being as an artist in general?
I'd say even to this day, I still really look up to a lot of Must Die's production.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting into, like, if we're talking more underground influence, like Akios, I'm the absolute #1 biggest Akios fan.
Yes.
Another inspiration of mine would be Infect. All three of those, I just, like, when I listen to their music, I hear elements of it that is very different from what's coming out, or very interesting in a way that, you know, a lot of other music is just kind of lacking in. Like, Must Die's composition is just amazing. The way he writes his intros and like fully realizes a song is something that I've always looked up to since like fucking when I first got into EDM. And then, you know, in terms of like sound design, Kios, in fact, for sure.
Yeah, I think you kind of broke up on that last part again. On that last part, do you mind saying it again?
Yeah. So, I'd say like my biggest sound design influences when I'm going to like pull inspirations for sound design would be definitely Akios and Infect for sure.
Yeah, they definitely have unique sounds that have been brought into the table that people are trying to mimic or even try to duplicate, and it's not working. You just have to be able to come up with it and be able to master it. I totally see that. Do you have a piece of advice that you've kept with you for a really long time that you still apply to this day?
Oh yeah, for sure. Have fun.
Yes.
If you are not, and I've heard this from plenty of different people, but it wasn't until quarantine that it actually sunk in. If you are not having fun, if you're not vibing to the song that you're currently writing, it's going to translate. So you need to be, you know, behind your computer, just fucking, like, if you're not headbanging to your own music, why the fuck would anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I heard it before and I've heard it from plenty of different people, but it wasn't until I was stuck in my room every day and, you know, trying to force myself to write music that I was like, I'm not fucking enjoying this.
Yeah.
Like, why am I sitting here working on the same thing for 6 hours, 8 hours, 3 days, whatever, and I'm bored of it, or I'm tired of hearing it, tired of listening to it. And then when I finally started, and this was at the beginning of the year, but like when I finally started just like, not necessarily doing something different, but like I would stop working on something if it wasn't like immediately fun. And then if it was fun, I would figure out what was making it fun, and I would just kind of like go all in. And I realized that the songs that I have done the best have been the ones where I was sitting behind like, oh, I can't wait to show my fucking friends, or this goes super hard, or like just having a good time, just fucking around and making the song or whatever. But like, it definitely does translate.
Yes.
Because for some reason, I don't know what it is, but the people that are listening, even if they're not producers or they're not even necessarily into EDM, the people that are listening to your music will definitely feel that energy transfer. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but it's felt. So if you're bored or if you're tired of listening to your own music, maybe don't scrap it, but, you know, work on something that might be a little bit more fun. Challenge yourself, have a good time, vibe out, you know?
That's great advice, because you definitely don't want to put out something you hate and it like accidentally pops off and you're like, wow, I don't even want to play this song anymore.
Which I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me. Like, just
Oh, God.
like, I mean, like, you work on, like, cause I'm one of those producers that like will make a whip and then carry that whip throughout 70 fucking versions over the course of like 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
And so by the time it comes out, it's a completely different song. And I'm fucking tired of listening to it because I've been like, just like meticulously and like painstakingly going through it, and like changing little details here and there, and just like listening to it over and over again to the point where my ears are bleeding. And you get tired of it, you get bored of it, you get annoyed with it, and by the time it comes out, you're like, fuck, it's out and whatever. But and it's happened where it pops off, and I'm like, why the fuck do people like this? But then I have to remember, like, while I was writing it in the beginning, I was having a great time, and the only reason why I don't like it now is because I kept second guessing myself to the point where I just started hating it, and I just was like, this is never gonna sound good. This is never gonna sound good. But it has to come to a point where you're like, it does sound good. It's ready to be released. I got to stop going in and, oh, no, it needs to be tweaked here. There needs to be EQ. No, like, eventually, you've done all you can.
Agreed.
Give in, let the people hear it, and it'll do all right. It'll do well.
Agreed. With your music, would you rather have someone to collab with that has the same similar style as you, or would you like to have someone that's a little bit different?
It's kind of difficult. I've done both.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's more of a challenge, which could be good or bad. It's more of a challenge to write music with somebody who's not necessarily in your style. Which, like I said, it could be a good thing. Like, if you consider that challenge to be something that you enjoy challenge, then it could be fun to step out of your element or try to fuse them both. It's definitely easier to work with somebody that you're on a similar page with in terms of style. And it comes off a lot more fluid. Like, it just flows. But I think both are important. Maybe you don't need to release the stuff that is kind of out of your brand, or maybe you do, or whatever. But like, I wouldn't say shy away from people that don't necessarily have the same style. Like, if they appreciate yours and you appreciate theirs, and you guys come together and you want to make a track together, make it work.
Oh yeah, I agree. Make it work, and if it sounds good and y'all are both happy with it, make it work.
Make it work.
Who are some of your favorite producers? You mentioned Ekios, you mentioned Infect, you mentioned Must Die. Is there any other ones? Maybe the more like up and coming producers that you really fuck with.
Ooh, some up and comers. Mad Dubs.
Mad Dubs? Oh yeah.
Mad Dubs is on fire. Invaders is really good. I've been really fucking with his tunes lately. Let's see. Sizzy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely my number one up and comer right now. He is insane. I really like ISO XO.
Oh yeah.
Not really the biggest fan of trap, but for some reason his shit just bumps harder than anybody else's.
Agreed with that.
Yeah, I guess my up and comer list is pretty short. QK is also a big dub.
Yeah, big dub. Yeah, they're all. I agree with every single one of you. They're all bringing something to the table that is unfamiliar, and that's what keeps people interested. Is the unfamiliar. I can't even say the word. Like the unfamiliar, but in like a new form. Like people love that. I agree.
For sure. I feel like underground dubstep is definitely changing, like big time. I feel like rhythm was very, I don't want to say stagnant, but it felt very repetitive for the longest time. But these kids like QK, Sizzy, Mad Dubs, all of them, Akios, they're bringing stuff to the table that is so different and so refreshing to rhythm and underground dubstep in general. Like, we're hearing intros now.
Yeah, agreed.
Back in 2013, it was a kick and a snare.
Right.
And like some sort of weird movie quote. And
yeah.
That's it. But now we're hearing like fully realized tracks that are like just the hardest you've ever heard before. And then I feel like QK and Sizzy and Akios like have nailed it. Like just have the weirdest fucking flows in their songs. Like we're moving away from quarter notes, which is also wild to me. Like we're moving into like, think about Phonon with Polyrhythm. Yeah. One of the most successful tracks of the year. Literally just is, it's 5/4 or whatever, 5/7.
Yeah.
Like, who does that in dubstep? but that's the reason why they're popping off, because they're so different. And I feel like not just dubstep, but like music in general just evolves in a way where we're not necessarily over, we're always going to love the classics, but the more we change, the more we evolve the sound in general, like it's just going to bring people you never heard of, like are going to feel more comfortable, like breaking their mold and coming out into their own. Like the best part of all of this stuff is just the fact that they sound like themselves.
Yeah.
They don't sound like anybody else. I felt was the biggest problem with dubstep up until just like a year ago. Everybody sounded the same.
I agree with that. Let's talk more about your project. Is that what's in the running, what's in the future for the Sora project?
Obviously some stuff I can't talk about.
Always.
Stuff in the future. I do have a couple of releases coming up soon. Hopefully getting that stuff nailed down right over the next couple of weeks, month, to kind of close out the year with releases. I'm kind of taking my sound in general in a newer direction anyways. Not necessarily that I'm, moving away from dubstep or anything, but
yeah.
I do feel like it's time to change. And, I've always wanted to be, the anime nerd that makes dubstep. And I'm glad that my brand is finally starting to come in that direction. And with that, I want to start making actual music. Like, I want my intros to stand out. I want compositionally my music to stand out. I'm not really in a race for the best sound design at the moment. I'm just trying to realize how to make a song. And so I feel like the next couple of releases to round out the year are going to be able to do that. And they're going to be a bit different than what I've been putting out so far. So I think, and then merch soon. Sora merch.
Yeah. Yes, we love merch. We love the support. We love the fans. I agree with that. Yeah. No, I really like what you said. I'm really glad that you want to hone in on your sound. And I think that makes a great artist, knowing what they can constantly like move forward with their project and making sure that they can perfect the craft. So I really fucks with that. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Sora has a fire saucy ass mix coming out this Thursday for us. Oh, yeah. Better tune in. Anything you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Go stream Thunder. Go stream the Severe Collab Shift. And yeah, go watch anime, bro. That shit will change your life.
Top 2 animes right now that you should tell people to watch right now.
Oh man, fucking if you're just getting into it, okay, the first 2 that you should watch, My Hero and Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah.
Great stories, great everything, great animation, crazy budget, great movies, everything. If you are already an anime nerd, you haven't seen them, Toradora is my all-time favorite. And Kyokai no Kanata or whatever. Can't remember the English translation. Very good. They're all good shows, and you should definitely watch them, no matter what. Get into
and join your Discord so we can do more anime nights.
Yeah, join the Sora Discord. I'm going to put that in my Twitter bio from now on because I love the anime nights. We do anime nights over there, and we watch movies and shit, and it's a great time, and everybody gets to vibe out.
It was awesome. I fell asleep watching Spirited Away or for whatever it was.
Yeah, we watched some Ghibli movie and it was great.
That is what's up. Cool. So thanks again, Sora. I really appreciated this, and thank you everyone for watching.